Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, June 13th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, HCTI. Monster move on this one today. Last I checked, over 5 billion shares traded. So just crazy stuff. A lot of people watching it, a lot of people talking about it. I actually talked about this in yesterday's video, but because today's move was so big, it makes this pattern down here very hard to see. But at this point, that's all irrelevant now, so I'll delete that out and we'll just start afresh. And quite frankly, we have another very well-defined pattern. And I make the comment about a well-defined pattern because when you have well-defined patterns, it means lots of people are watching them. And when lots of people are watching the same things and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So let's get this pattern first drawn into play, and then I'll describe this potential, kind of self-fulfilling prophecy type angle to things. So let's change that to green to represent support. And then just to make the pattern easiest to see, let's keep it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosive move right here. For you golfers, try to make it more visual. Put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's bullish does not mean for sure or guaranteed it's going to go up. But would it be shocking if the price consolidated out, came up here and broke through that level and created more momentum? No, that would not be shocking, especially when you factor the very real possibility that that's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. Enough people are watching it saying, hey, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, because I'm a breakout trader and because that's breaking out, I'm supposed to buy. Therefore, they just buy for that reasoning. Yeah, self-fulfilling prophecies are a very real thing. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but certainly a more than valid question to throw out there as a possibility. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one, KLTO, and I think headed into Friday, a couple of very well-defined levels. The first key level from the support side of things, all about that purple line there, which on my chart denotes the famous 50-period moving average. And you can see exactly why it's famous and why it's important right there. Did a great job of holding support, got the bounce, and then even this afternoon came back down there, and wouldn't you know it, surprise, has bounced once again off of that level. And now that's not to say that the purple line will always provide support. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price has bounced off that area of the chart and why moving forward I would consider that an important area of support. So headed into Friday, $1.92, that near-term key area of support. In terms of levels of resistance, I think a level that a lot of people have drawn. So going back to that topic of, those potential self-fulfilling prophecies, but got to think a lot of people have drawn a trend line very similar to that. So again, that guarantees nothing, but more than valid to think that if the price were to come up here and break up through there, that break could indeed create additional buying pressure. So not guaranteed, but a valid question to suggest. So all in all, some well-defined levels, and we'll see if the price can get some sort of break on Friday. Next one, GNLN, and like HCTI, one of these penny stocks with just billions of shares of volume. So got to think a lot of people are watching this one headed into Friday. So first level we'll start with is just the very basic area of resistance, right up here at 0.0168. No fancy logic or reasoning, just simply where did the party finally stop today? And you can see on a couple occasions the price tried to push up through there, but in both situations the price did ultimately get smacked back down. So that doesn't mean that it can't be broken. It just means that as of right now, that's very clearly where the sellers are hanging out at, again, over there at 0.0168. So keep an eye on that from a resistance standpoint. From a support viewpoint, several different ways you could look at it. In the very near term, in terms of, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the strongest and healthiest would be if the price could stay up above that area right there. But from the end of the day, by no means is that do or die. You have a set of lows right here. You have moving averages right here sloping upwards. The purple line, which you now know is a 50-period moving average. You have this line starting to upslope right here, the pink line, the 200-period moving average. So there's all sorts of moving averages that are moving upwards. And at the end of the day, as long as the price is building higher bases, then that's what matters most. Now, I do understand that if you're a flipper, scalper, day trader, and you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then yes, this chart right now is already looking bad for you because there's been a big pullback. But I'm not talking about any of this from like a day trader, scalper viewpoint. I'm talking and making these comments from a bigger picture standpoint. So yes, even with the pullback here, still plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. So let's see if the price can continue to build the trend on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol GME, one of the cult stocks out there. And unfortunately, the cult stock got really hit hard with the big gap down right here, and then even after the gap down, continued to bleed. But what does make this interesting headed into Friday is the price has seemingly at least started to go sideways. Now, let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy, but just because there's a big move down, and now just because the price going sideways, does not mean that for sure, guaranteed, without question, this is going to head back up. Now, does it become more plausible? Is it a little bit more reasonable to suggest such a thing? Yeah, absolutely, but that doesn't mean it's guaranteed to happen. So on that note, very important level of support for no other reason other than it's just finally where the bleeding finally stopped today, right down there at 2150. And then if this current upwards and sideways movement is going to get more upside pressure, in my mind, the key dynamic to watch from a resistance standpoint, right there around 2250. So basically a dollar channel. You have the top of the channel at 2250, bottom of the channel at 2150. So it just becomes a question of, is this sideways action a sign that the selling's over and that there might be some sort of move back in the upwards direction? We'll see what happens, so grab your popcorn for Friday. Next one here, TSLL did this one in Wednesday's top 10 list and talked about this downwards channel right here, which is, for all actuality, is still fully in play. Now, I do understand that there was this fake break of it right here where the price came up here, got the break, acted like it wanted to be strong, and then just totally rolled back over. And then after that happened, you can see the price went right back to acting as resistance several times right there. So from an overarching pattern standpoint, this channel is still in play. And this is where it just becomes all about perspective. As I mentioned previously on another stock, if you're a scalper and you bought there, maybe you're a scalper and you bought right there and your plan is to buy and sell within 7 minutes. Well, yeah, from any of those angles, the chart's looking really bad. But from the big picture of things, the price is still very much so up above these previous lows right here. So, I mean, you stop and think about the fact that the price at one point was there and it was right there, and now it's still all the way up there. Overall, like I said, the price is still much higher than where it was. So assuming you care about things from the broader scope, even though there was another pullback today, like I said, bigger picture-wise, there's still plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. So let's see if the bulls can get that job done or not. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down below in the description area you can use, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. Now, one special note, it is a genuine live event, so maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you totally missed it. Go ahead, send me an email to clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a replay link so you can watch it at your earliest convenience. But if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up, and I'll be seeing you here in just a few hours. Next one here, NVDA, NVIDIA, and this will mean a little bit more to those of you that have watched past videos, but if you did, hopefully remember me putting that trend line into play and the power of charts. You can see this morning, price came down here. Beautiful, beautiful bounce right off that level, all the way up to the second area that I talked about in yesterday's video, right up here at 144.75. And once again, the price is essentially getting stuck right up in this region. Now, I will say that we have more data. I can make an adjustment because, like I said, it seems though the most accurate level at this point in terms of where resistance is right here at 145. By making that adjustment, you can see a couple of rejections there, rejection right there, and then a rejection right here. Now, the key dynamic here is that whenever levels, assuming you're bullish, of course, but whenever levels of resistance need to be adjusted in the upwards direction, that is a good thing. So yes, I did adjust that level just to kind of quote unquote make it fit. But to be fair to the bulls, I did need to adjust it in the upwards direction. And that's definitely what you want to see. You want to see the technical chart need to have those resistances continue to be adjusted in that upwards direction. So right now, NVIDIA is knocking on the door. Big question headed into Friday. And on Friday, can the price get the break up through 145? We'll see what happens. Next one here, ticker symbol CGTL, and good solid pattern here. I'm going to go through this a little quicker because you've already heard me talk about it once, but we're looking at a bull pennant pattern. So there's our area of resistance. There's our area of support. And then let me just make it easiest to see with one color here. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the nice upwards move right here. We have the golf hole down here, so there is the bull pennant. Although I will say, and you probably already noticed it, and that's why I like to do these when the market is open, but check out the last 30 minutes. It is knocking on the door. Market's still open for another 8 minutes. So maybe, just maybe, by the time you're watching this, you're saying, Clay, the price is above here. If you're answering the question if the price is above the pattern, then you get to ask yourself an even more exciting question. That question being, Is this the start of something even bigger? Is what the start? Well, like I said, if the price is already above here, that means a breakout has occurred. So yeah, the key thing has occurred. A breakout is the breakout, the start of something even bigger. So maybe you get to ask yourself that question. But anyway, look at it. Good looking bull pennant. Very nice looking last 30 minutes. So we'll see how it goes on Friday. Next one here, RGTI. Overall, the chart's hanging in there, but somewhat of a buzzkill because the price did break down below the support trend line that I threw in yesterday's video. Again, does that destroy everything? It doesn't. But yeah, not nearly as good a looking chart as what it once was. So I'm going to get rid of that level. And I'll just get rid of that because at this point, I think, no, let's apply the KISS method here. Keep it simple, stupid. And no pun intended, as you're about to see. But the two main levels here that I think matter most is right here. The purple line there, which you now know is that 50 period simple moving average. And then from a very near-term resistance level, that pink line right there, the 200 period simple moving average. And I don't think it really needs to be any more complicated than that. Because if the price can come up here and get up through that level right there, which right now the 200 period moving average valued at 1245, that's a signal, not a guarantee, but it's a signal, okay, the bulls are regaining their footing. And you could make a plausible case that there could be another surge of momentum back upwards because at least the price has, kind of reestablished itself up above that pink line here. And then the flip side is also true. If the price were to come down, break below the pink line right there, again, does that guarantee anything? It doesn't. But does it open up the possibility that the bears are starting to take back over control and that the bulls have lost control? Absolutely. So I think looking at those couple of areas really do a good job of simplifying things and helping to kind of gauge the story as things play out on Friday. So we'll see what happens with it. Next one here, PLUG, and same general idea of what I just talked about. Now, is the entire chart destroyed? It's not. Has it lost a little bit of its attractiveness? It has because, and this will mean more to those that watched yesterday's video, but I drew in this multi-day pattern, and you can see right now, technically speaking, the price is down below the lower part of the trend line. But also, to be fair, last 30 minutes here, you can see it's putting up a good fight, trying to make another push back above there, but nonetheless, it has closed down below that level. Again, does not mean the entire chart's destroyed, but it is a warning sign to keep in mind, to keep an eye on Friday, just making sure that this is not some sort of leading indicator of more selling pressure to come, because the further the price does drop down below that purple line, the more and more credible it becomes a threat of, the bulls are losing control and the bears are taking back over control. So I'm not even willing to say right now that the bulls have lost control. Not at all, because again, sure, it's broken below there, but it is still at least maintaining that purple line there, which you know is that 50 period moving average. But if the price continues to pull to the downside, that just is more and more evidence that the bulls are indeed losing control. But the sooner the price can get back above that green line, the better. But yes, at least primary kind of curiosity point moving into Friday is, will the price be able to stay and maintain above that purple line, or is it going to continue to drift to the downside? So we'll have to see how that all plays out. Next one here, TSLA Tesla, and same kind of general idea of what I just talked about. We have the pullback here. The price is right at the purple line, but to give credit where credit's due, so far so good. The price is indeed holding above that level. But same general idea, so I'm not going to beat the dead horse here. But big question mark for me and Tesla is, will the price be able to maintain the purple line? Not that it's got to have a big bounce, but can at least kind of stay above it, generally speaking, or are we going to be looking at a situation where the price begins to separate? And as I just explained on the previous chart, a separation to the downside is illustrating the fact that, yeah, the bears are starting to gain control and the bulls are starting to potentially lose control. But right now, again, I don't want to get too far out of ourselves because the price is certainly doing a good job of staying above that purple line. But yeah, let's see how Tesla behaves and if it's going to continue to respect that purple line or not. If there is some sort of bigger bounce in the upwards direction, then all eyes definitely on that pink line up there, that 200 period moving average, right now valued at 34.20. But also, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's just first see if the price can at least stay up above or somewhere right around that purple line there. But yeah, definitely going to be an interesting Friday. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, before I go, want to remind you, go get signed up for the class. It'll be this Thursday, June 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it will be this evening. But as I already discussed earlier, if you cannot make it live for whatever reason, go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay so you can watch it at your earliest convenience. And then also, if you enjoy these top 10 videos, make sure you hit that like button. And then finally, I have been live streaming, so if you're interested in seeing me trade live, come hang out, come ask me questions, then make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so that you are made aware and alerted to when I actually do go live during the day. So that'd be very cool if you show up on the live stream and say, hey, I watch your top 10 videos. It's always fun to make that connection, so definitely consider doing so. But again, make sure you get signed up for that free training tonight. And if you can't make it, send me an email, and hopefully I'll be seeing you here in just a few hours.